Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Snotty. Hello, Miss Cindy. How's it going? I am a couple minutes late. Sorry. Sorry. I knocked myself in the chin with a lint roller. Like, oh my God, I'm going to have a bruise. People are going to think I was fisticuffing, but I was not. Just with myself. Hey, Frazzled. Hey, good to see you. So it's Friday night. We need to have a Friday night fun soon. But I haven't been on here all week, so there's so many things I really want to talk about. Um, I've scheduled 2 lives so we can do. Um, we can. Hey Jerry. Hey Freeside. Hello. So what happened? Like today, I was listening to um, Trump talking from the Oval Office, and I just kept laughing. And I'm like, we need to go over this because it was hilarious. It's good information, but it was really funny. Like, I don't know why I don't talk about things like that sometimes that we should talk about them. And this weekend, though, I'm going to do, there's so many things to catch up on with Lori Vallow and Brian Kohlberger a lot. So I want to do one this weekend with some true crime catch up. Hey, Wondering Spirit. Wow, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a long time. Um, yeah, there's lots of stuff there to go over, and um, so I'm going to do that this weekend. It's been spring break, so I've had Jack full time, and it's been busy. It's been great. I love it. Oh no, Jerry. Gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh man. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. What are they gonna? Right. Well, you have to. You do. That's actually, in my opinion, that's a very big part of it. Are they gonna? What about surgery? No surgery. Okay. Oh gosh. I don't really know what immunotherapy is actually. So she got a port. She'll do chemo through the port. There's so many different ways that they do that. Okay. Okay. Wow. I'm sorry, but on you're very right to staying positive because it's so much different than it used to be. They right wondering they have. Yeah, absolutely praying for you. They have come so far. It's just, yeah, I guess so because I don't know. I'm not familiar with that at all. Oh wow. Okay. Well, and things have changed, have gotten better. I mean, I know a lot of people these days that way back in the day, it was definitely that nothing good came. But I know a lot of people who have just gone on and been good. Exactly. Yep. That's a lot of the battle is the attitude, I think. I haven't seen her yet. They've been here for about a week and a half. I haven't seen her yet, Rosalind. Oh, good. Did you have a good celebration? It's Shabby's birthday too. I'm glad. I'm good. Okay. Well, give her a big, warm, happy birthday from all of us. Tell her we're definitely praying for her, and she can kick its ass. She can. She absolutely can. Yep. You just gotta. We never know what's going to happen ever. Really. I mean, we don't. Um, so you got to just keep trying. It's not going to do any good to not try and be positive. That definitely isn't going to help, right? Yeah, exactly right. I think you're exactly right, wondering. I think you're that's 100%. It's not. And it was, for sure. I I that is very well said. It's been pretty much what has not everybody everybody in my family, but most people in my family have gone from cancer. Oh, that's so sweet, Wondering. Exactly. Hey, Kentucky woman. Wow. See, that is so much more common now. Yes, that's good. Very good to hear that. Yeah, my sister had cancer. What? It's probably been 20 years now. Yeah. Right. Yeah, my sister, yeah, she had um, a good size uh, lump in her breast. Yep. Same. Yeah, it can absolutely happen. And it will, Jared. It- I know. Exactly. Right. I think so too. Right, more? Yeah, that's what I'm. What, a couple of people, it wasn't cancer, but pretty much everybody. Yeah, right. Absolutely, Jerry. That's 100% right. Well, I'm glad that's how you feel about it. I'm glad because just giving up is definitely doesn't do it. Right. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Jerry, because, yep, not saying bad about you, but I know you do. You do. I do sometimes too. Oh, I never heard of that Kentucky woman. Well, and it'll be a struggle some days, Jerry. It will. Chemo's hard, and it'll take everybody around her to keep her like that, to keep her positive. I don't have any idea what that is, Kentucky woman. Never heard of that. Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness. I haven't even checked on the birds. Um, Hey, Debbie. How are you? Oh, just real quick, I'm not going to talk about it, but just to say that, I got all excited that Betty was going to go to jail or be hunted down by a bounty hunter. She's not. She got it extended again. And let's be real. I mean, she has harassed those people. 1,000% she has. I don't really think she means them harm physically or that she plans on doing it herself. But what if? I mean, when you have this many restraining orders, how do you really just keep putting it off, especially when someone has violated them? I don't think that's a good practice. She should have to go in. No, get out again. Yeah, you miss we've been talking about Jerry's mom. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat right this second. No, that right. I don't mean to say that they have every right to have a restraining order. The things that people say about him is absolutely just crazy, really. And I think she probably would be okay if something happened to them. She would like that, I think. But I don't know that physically she would really, I don't know. But what if it were a case of somebody who really, truly, like, didn't live out of state or whatever? I don't know. I don't know how you keep putting it off. I mean, quite honestly, it's because I want her to go to jail. I shouldn't fib. It's a lot of entertainment for me, but I'm annoyed because I wanted her to go. Every time I get excited about her going to court, she don't go. Hey, Tough. I want her to go to court. If I had court, I would have to go to court. I think. I don't know. I don't get it. I want her to go. She just keeps acting out her same nonsense too. I can't stand it. And I shouldn't get so I got excited about. I know I was too. She's doing all of it for some big dramatic effect, so give it to us. Well, that's what the thing is, you guys. Chemo does it. It's meant to kill everything. And it does. Good, bad, everything. Hopefully it kills the bad. Okay, that's really what it does. Chemo it's very hard on you, a person. It's very hard. Mm-hmm. It actually is. I think what you're saying maybe is that therapy thing you were talking about. Maybe that helps with that. I don't know. I think they do have things now that help. I know for my mom, it was really hard on her. That's been okay, right? I would say that's what I assumed that it was going to help with the chemo is what because that's what's so rough, right? Well, that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing. They're doing that. Oh, okay, Mar. Oh, thanks. Okay, right. Absolutely, Kentucky woman. Yeah, Mar. I haven't known anybody that did that or that I know of. It, if I have, I didn't know that they did that. It might be really common. I guess probably is. Oh, really? Okay. It doesn't sound like a bad thing for sure. Wow, 75. That's fun. They haven't told you how long. Oh, how long they'll do chemo? Mm. It's so different. I know my uncle took a pill, a chemo pill. My mom used to go in and they would surgically put a thing straight on there for like 14 days at a time. So many different ways they do it. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yep, Kentucky woman, you're absolutely right. Yes, exactly right. Yep, it is. Yeah, if you act like it's over, then it is, right? That's right. Absolutely, Jerry. You are absolutely right. But none of us are getting out of it alive, right? That's not going to happen. Nobody is. No, don't apologize. Don't ever do that. All right, we're praying for you. You know we love you here. It is. Well, and you can get information from, I mean, it's good to talk about. Plus, I always think it's good. You guys teach me about things I never knew about. Hey, Debbie, did you leave? Hey, Army vet. Oh yeah, you will. You will learn fast. You will. I might have it on some kind of wrong chat setting. Oh, okay, Debbie. Oh gosh. Yep. You know, Mr. Snotty. Uh, That's too funny. You know who hasn't been here in a while? Well, a few people, but Wicked used to like to do a shot with Mr. Snotty. I haven't seen her. Wicked Pissa, right? He doesn't need a lot of coaxing. Too funny. Yep, there he goes.
There it goes. Stop.
Are you talking about F-47? I love that so much. But I know about that, so I'm supposing that's not what you're talking about.
Skulking around in the background like some kind of weird stalker. Light a little bit more. Got my shot ready, Army vet. You're gonna have to navigate for me. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't quite read that.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Oh, that would be awesome. I think it would be very appropriate. Everybody wants to be at war, but
But we don't.
I'll do one of the little ones.
The little ones. The church glasses. The church wine glasses.
No, that's not little.
What do you have little? I'm just joking about that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Go fill it up.
Okay. It's right here. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. It should. You never hear anybody else saying, I just want people to stop dying. Nobody ever says that. Yeah.
What's up, Luis?
And somehow people want to be pissed about it. It's like, well, that's
People get angry about that.
all right. I'm going to do one too.
Cheers, Army Vet. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers to F-47.
F-47. Yes. Happy birthday to Jerry's mom. Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday, Mom.
and Shabby.
Shabby.
Today is Shabby's birthday.
Right on, Shabby.
So I'll sip that for a while now.
Yeah.
Hey, legs.
Drugs.
Okay, I want to show you this one thing because it's really funny. Actually, a lot of this is very funny to me. And I hope you guys are going to laugh because I think we need to laugh, right? I need to laugh. Yeah, if you're in here, Shabby, happy birthday. But there's a couple on here I want to show you. Watch this. This made me pee my pants. I'm not kidding.
Very unhappy
Watch
walrus in the New York subway system trying to attack a man with a MAGA hat. This is a video that you're going to love because it has just the happiest possible conclusion. So this angry left-wing walrus comes orking after this young man who's just wearing a red MAGA cap. And one of the happiest videos
This
on the
is
internet
funny.
right now. Let's go.
That's why he won. That's why he won. That is
So
why
unhappy.
he won.
You know, why are they so unhappy?
Stop it.
Bro, this is like, bro, chill, bro.
I'm
I'm
so
bro, how can I be
okay.
racist, bro?
He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
No, he's not racist.
Watch what happens. It's so funny.
You realize
He was highly educated.
Oh, are you?
I guess I can wear that.
I don't know how long the Democrats been running the day.
So crazy.
Who knows how long?
Okay, you're gonna love this. Here we go. Get ready.
Alright, well, this is my stuff. I hope you enjoyed that.
This is my stop. I hope you enjoy the hat. Watch this. Watch this. Bam! Right onto the piss. Right on the piss-stained cement of the New York subway. Oh yeah, I should just watch it. Can this be my ringtone? Can I have this as my ringtone? Klein, can we find?
Isn't that funny? Oh my God. Like, I know. Why are you going after someone like that? That's so crazy. Just face plants right now. Oh my God, that made me die laughing. Oh shit. That is good stuff. I know, exactly. I mean, people are just nuts. They end up doing something really funny with this at the end too. It's so funny. Oh my god.
And like the perfect, this will be the new backdrop of my phone. I'm gonna just kind of, let's just take a screenshot and that be just, I'm gonna make that my new screensaver. Why don't we play that every morning? Can we play that every morning on the stream? Just to give everybody a nice little pick me up, right? Yeah, this is a good. This is what we created Maha for, actually. Yeah. We send her to RFK. All right.
I mean, why are you right, Frazzle? I know. That's why I'm like, oh my god, I was laughing so hard today. Not just over that. We gotta watch this flips right. I know. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do chasing after somebody? What are you even gonna do? So crazy. I mean, get over yourself. Fucking unhinged people, man. Well, and he's running from her. Like, stop it. So dang funny. Yeah. Right? Like, well, who even does that? I don't. People are really crazy these days. I'm telling you. Right. Don't do that to yourself. Don't. Right? You can't. You really can't. Let me see. Oh yeah, they do. He goes through more at the end. I'll show you that part. But also, I really loved. Let me see. I loved Trump answering questions today. I love the way he just says whatever, right? Like, that's always been my favorite thing. But it's so good. They're asking him questions and his answers. I just was laughing so freaking hard. Me too. I do. So I want us to watch this. Hold on. I got to get these dogs. I swear they're going to make me insane.
Thank you, baby.
Right. So he keeps calling. I love when he calls people lunatics. I find this so funny. And it's appropriate. Like Tampon Tim with all his stupidity. Yeah, he is a lunatic. Who really is going to act like he's not a lunatic? Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, this whole thing, it is so good. It is so good. Me too. Oh my God. I love that. Little Marco and the whole Rosie O'Donnell thing is freaking hilarious for me. I cannot ever get enough of that. I watch that shit over and over sometimes. I gotta tell you that Jesse guy did another funny one. Oh, we've got some funny ones to watch of Terrence Williams. Oh my god, that guy cracks me up bad. Okay, we gotta watch this now. This is so good.
States where they can get a proper education. The numbers are horrible the way it is, and we're going to make a move that's very big. I don't think it's even risky a little bit. I think it's going to be amazing. Should have been done years ago. They've been talking about doing it for many years, but nobody ever got it off. But we did. And there was great excitement and great acceptance of it by almost everybody, including a lot of Democrats, actually. I do want to say that I've decided that the SBA, the Small Business Administration, headed by Kelly Loeffler, is a terrific person, will handle all of the student loan portfolio. We have a portfolio that's very large, lots of loans, tens of thousands of loans, pretty complicated deal. And that's coming out of the Department of Education immediately, and it's going to be headed up by Kelly Loeffler at SBA, and they're all set for it. They're waiting for it. It'll be serviced much better than it has in the past. It's been a mess. And also Bobby Kennedy, the Health and Human Services, will be handling special needs and all of the nutrition programs and everything else. Rather complex, but that's going to be headed by and handled by Health and Human Services. So I think that'll work out very well. Those two elements will be taken out of the Department of Education, and then all we have to do is get the students to get guidance from the people that love them and cherish them, including their parents, by the way, who will be totally involved in their education, along with the boards and the governors and the states. And it's going to be a great situation. I guarantee that in a few years from now, I hope I'm going to be around to see it, but I think we're going to see a lot of it. I think that you're going to have tremendous results. You're going to have results like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, a lot of the countries that do so well. I think you're going to have a lot of those results. If you look at Iowa and Indiana and Idaho, so many places that run so well, Florida, Texas, big ones, you're going to have great education, much better than it is now at half the cost. And we're not even doing it as a cost item, although you will save probably half, maybe more than that. And you're not going to be at the bottom of the list. You're going to be much higher. And maybe you'll be, I will guarantee some of the states will be at the top of the list. They'll be comparable or better than these number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries, the countries that are in the top 5 positions. So that's, to me, it's very exciting, and it's been received very well. So I just wanted to tell you about the student loans and special needs. But we're here for a reason today that is very exciting, and I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet, number 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it, and it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked it. It's a beautiful number.
Yep.
F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload. And this has been in the works for a long period of time. After a rigorous and thorough competition between some of America's top aerospace companies, the Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation air dominance platform to Boeing. As you know, was highly competed for. There was a lot of competition, generals, and it's been going on for a long time. Very, very tough competition. This plane is produced numbers that nobody's ever seen before. The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation. There's no other nation. We know every other plane. I've seen every one of them, and it's not even close. This is a next level. You know, level 5 is good. This is level 6, they say. The F-47 is equipped with state-of-the-art stealth technology.
I love it.
It's virtually unseeable. and unprecedented power. It's the most power of any jet of its kind ever made. Maneuverability, likewise, is there's never been anything like it, despite the power and speed. So over 2, you don't hear very often. America's enemies will never see it coming. Hopefully we won't have to use it for that purpose, but you have to have it. And if it ever happens, they won't know what the hell hit them. A new fleet of these magnificent planes will be built during my administration for the next couple of years. It's ready to go. They've already built much of what has to be built in terms of production,
Right.
including the sheds. We'll ensure that the USA continues to dominate the skies. We're given an order for a lot. We can't tell you the price because it would give way to some of the technology and some of the size of the plane, good sized plane. This contract also represents a historic investment in our defense industrial base, helping to keep America at the cutting edge of aerospace and technology. Our allies are calling constantly. They want to buy them also, and certain allies will be selling them, perhaps toned down versions. We like to tone them down about 10%, which probably makes sense because someday maybe they're not our allies, right? But I would like to ask Secretary Hegseth, who's doing a fantastic job. He's really been very inspiring in so many ways. And I must say that before he speaks, we have had record people wanting to join our military in the last 2.5 months, literally since this, I think probably since the election, November 5th, but especially since we came to office and since I announced Pete. He's young, he's smart, he's strong, he loves it, and they love him. But we've had record numbers of people wanting to join our military. Now, if you go back 6 months, it was the exact opposite. You had record numbers of people not wanting to join the military. Now you have record numbers of people wanting to be in our military. And that's a great honor. That shows you we're really on the right track. So Pete, maybe say a few words. Sure.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to say. You guys remember Flora's sister went to the military. She left, I think, if not last Sunday, the Sunday before, possibly. I could be wrong. But if she comes in, I forgot to mention that. Ask her about that on Monday. But maybe you guys can remember that with me.
Well, Mr. President, this is a big day. This is a big day for our warfighters. This is a big day for our country, a big day in the world. The name of this program is the Next Generation of Air Dominance. And Mr. President, because of your leadership, your clarity, America is going to have generations in the future of air dominance because of this 6th generation fighter. We've had the F-15, we had the F-16, the F-18, the F-22, the F-35. Now we have the F-47, which sends a very direct, clear message to our allies that we're not going anywhere, and to our enemies that we will be able to project power around the globe unimpeded for generations to come. Mr. President, this is a gift to my kids, to your kids, to my grandkids, and your grandkids. This is a historic investment in the American military, in the American industrial base, in American industry that will help revive the warrior ethos inside our military, which we're doing, rebuild our military, which the previous administration did not do, by the way, Mr. President. They paused this program and were prepared to potentially scrap it. We know this is cheaper, longer range, and more stealthy. President Trump said we're reviving it and we're doing it. And then we are also going to reestablish deterrence. Under the previous administration, we looked like fools. Not anymore. President Trump has reestablished American leadership. The F-47 is part of it. And Mr. President, thank you for having the courage to do it and leading the way for all our warfighters.
Thank you very much, Pete. One of the things I will say, but the generals are going to speak in just a couple of seconds, but this plane flies with drones. It flies with many, many drones, as many as you want. And It's a technology that's new, but it doesn't fly by itself. It flies with many drones, as many as we want, and that's something that no other plane can do. So I'd like to introduce, if I might, Air Force Chief of Staff.
Okay, I'm gonna go past this, guys. Sorry, but I want to get to when they start asking him questions, because it just gets really good. I'm not trying to be rude, but
So I can't imagine, but I said, if you don't delete it, if you do delete it, we have people are going to say, why did you delete it? There's something in there. So we gave Social Security, we gave everything. And the rest is for you to look at, Peter. You're going to see whether or not you see anything. But we've given it. We're doing it with Dr. Martin Luther King, too. They're preparing all of that. They're going to release everything. And whoever else they want. I mean, we have nothing. We really have nothing to hide. We shouldn't have. When a lot of time goes by. But with the Kennedy files in particular, they were going crazy on them. I don't think there's anything that's earth-shattering, but you'll have to make that determination. In those, it's 80,000. It's actually 88,000, and we have some additional things, as come out today. And for that, you can go to the offices and you can see whatever you want to see. Everything is out there, totally open. The additional stuff is available later on today. You go over to the offices and you can have it immediately, and you'll make a determination.
And on something else, these Tren Aragua guys, because of your executive order, they are designated as foreign terrorists.
Oh.
If ISIS or Al-Qaeda foreign terrorists were operating here in the United States, cops would probably be shooting first and asking questions later. And so what is the difference between terrorists, between somebody like an ISIS or an Al-Qaeda operative versus a MS-13 or Tren Aragua?
Well, these are people that focus on destroying people in their homes. They're not as international in that sense. They're a group of thugs. They come from Venezuela. They come from the prisons of Venezuela. They're very, very dangerous people, but they didn't look so dangerous when the guards took care of the situation from El Salvador. And I want to thank the president. He's a friend of mine. He's done a great job. But I just can't imagine that the Democrats are taking this issue where they want to have them back. So now they have men playing in women's sports. They have transgender for everyone. They have open borders. They have all of their crazy policies that are, I think, 95-5, not 90-10, okay? And their new policy is, let's bring Tren Aragua back into our country. Let's bring the worst. These are the worst gang members there are. They looked amazingly frail, though, by the way they were handled. It's very amazing. They weren't, when they were in Colorado, cutting the fingers off a man because he made a phone call to the police. They seemed a lot tougher then than they did when they were having their head shaved and they were in shackles. They're tough people. They're bad people. We don't want them in our country.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous whenever the arguments are so insane. I mean, come on.
We can't let a judge say that he wants, he didn't run for president. He didn't get much more than 80 million votes. And we just can't let that happen. It'd be so bad for our country. I won on the basis of getting criminals out of our country that were let in. It was called unforced error. They were let in by Biden, incompetently let in, and let in by the millions, actually. 21 million people. I believe it's 21 million. And that's not even including the gotaways, but these are rough people. We want them out of our country. And I won the election based at least partly on that. And that's a big part, yeah?
I don't know if you saw this. Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters, and forgive me, I'm just reading a quote from Tim Walz. I think I could kick most of their ass.
Oh, boy, he'd be in trouble.
Is there any way to know?
Well, he's a loser, yeah. I mean, he lost an election. He played a part. Usually a vice president doesn't play a part, they say. I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her, but she hurt herself, and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group.
Have you heard that Biden
Mr.
wants to get back involved for
Mr.
Democratic
President.
politicians, fundraising and campaigning against your policies? What do you think of that?
I hope so.
Mr. President, there are several families, Mr.
President,
President, there are families
President,
from some of the
Who
people.
you would?
I'm Milana Sierra Esteban from Argentina. There are families from some of the people that were on those flights to El Salvador that claim that they're not criminals, they're not members of Tren de Agua, of MS-13. What can you tell them, and what guarantees can you give them that everyone in those planes were actual criminals, terrorists, as you said?
Well, I was told that they went through a very strong vetting process, and that will also be continuing in El Salvador. And if there's anything like that, we would certainly want to find out. But these were a bad group. This was a bad group, and they were in bad areas, and they were with a lot of other people that were absolutely killers, murderers, and people that were really bad with the worst records you've ever seen. And but we will continue that process. Absolutely, we don't want to make that kind of a mistake.
Mr.
Is the
President,
U.S. planning to give up the position of NATO's Supreme Allied Commander, and if so, why?
NATO is something that I saved. NATO is gone until I came along. In fact, the previous Secretary General, very good man. Both of them are good. The current man is fantastic. But both of them have said, if it wasn't for Trump, you wouldn't even have a NATO, because we were paying the cost of almost all of the countries. And now they're paying. I said, we're not going to do this. We're not going to continue. You hurt us on trade. You do bad things on trade. And then on top of it, we're supposed to pay for your military. And because of what I did, hundreds of billions of dollars flowed to NATO by countries that just weren't paying. They were delinquent. They weren't paying their bills. So NATO is solid. They're strong, but they have to treat us fairly.
Are we going to give up the?
Because look, without us, NATO is not the
And we're
same.
giving-
And I can tell you, I've been having very good discussions, as you know, with President Zelensky and with President Putin. And President Putin will tell you that without the United States, he wouldn't be worried. But he is worried when the United States is involved. And I have to tell you, I've dealt very well with both gentlemen, and we have, I think we have the confines of a deal. I hope we have the confines of a deal. I'm doing it for two reasons. Number one, and by far most importantly, thousands of young people, and they're not American people, they're Russian and they're Ukrainian, are being killed every week, thousands a week. And also the United States has paid, because of Biden, $350 billion on a war that should have never happened. If we had a competent president in this, sitting right here, that war would have never happened. It would have absolutely never happened with me. And it didn't happen. For 4 years, it didn't happen.
Mr. President, do you think you have the authority, the power to round up people, deport them, and then you're under no obligation to a court to show the evidence against them?
Well, that's what the law says, and that's what our country needs, because we were, unfortunately, they allowed millions of people to come into our country, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. So you ought to ask, did he have the authority to allow millions of people? Did Biden have?
Okay, see, this is what I'm so happy that he's finally said. Everybody wants to keep talking about what he did. What Biden did actually is not. That is against the law. This is what I'm so sick of dealing with. He did not protect our borders. Me too. It's about time. Why didn't you guys ask Biden what right he had to allow this shit? He was sending them over on private planes on purpose. No, we don't need him here, and it's not okay. It's not okay. But you want to be so worried about somebody getting rid of this shit, and you never ask that idiot. First of all, Biden wasn't doing anything. But exactly, I'm so glad he finally said, oh.
Have the authority to do something that's unthinkable, have open borders where millions of people poured into our country, totally unvetted and totally unchecked, just as you would say. And many of those people were criminals. Many of them were from jails and prisons and mental institutions and gang members and drug dealers and very dangerous people. Many were murderers. We have 11,088 that we know of murders they murdered.
Okay.
Of that
Gregory.
number, at least half killed more than one person. They're in our country. They're in a location near you. Biden allowed that to happen to our country.
Give your mom our
And there's
best.
people that really ran the country. And the person that operated the auto pen, I think we ought to find out who that was, because I guess that was the real president. So when you ask me if we have the authority, did Biden have the authority to allow millions of people to come into our country? Many of these people, hardened criminals at the top of the line who have caused tremendous damage in our country. You see them in New York City fighting with our police. I mean, literally having fist fights in the street with our police. These are tough, hard criminals. Many of them came out of jails, and not just South America, from all over the world. They came out from Africa, from the Congo. They came out from Asia, not just South America, but many from South America. These are hard, tough criminals, and we have to get them out. And a judge sitting behind a bench someplace got a nice appointment. You can't take that away from the people that are responsible. Now, in this case, Marco Rubio has a lot of big decisions to make, and he's a fantastic person, a great man. I think he'll be our best. I think he has a chance to be our best Secretary of State. He's been doing incredibly. He works so hard. He's gone to so many different countries already, and he's got the authority to get bad people out of our country. And you can't stop that with a judge sitting behind a bench that has no idea what goes on, who happens to be a radical left lunatic.
Do you think the judiciary?
You guys today are denying. You guys are denying this.
I love when he calls people lunatic. I freaking love that. And it's true. Right. Oh my God.
New York Times report that Elon Musk was going to be shown a 20 to 30 page presentation about a theoretical war plan against China. Why not just show it to Elon?
Because I don't want to show it to anybody. You know, you're talking about a potential war with China. Now, I deal with these people all the time, and I'm dealing with Pete. I'm dealing with these gentlemen on numerous different airplane purchases, and I think they're all going to be great. But I don't want other people seeing potential war with China. We don't want to have a potential war with China, but I can tell you if we did, we're very well equipped to handle it. But I don't want to show that to anybody. But certainly you wouldn't show it to a businessman who is helping us so much. He's a great patriot. He's paying a big price for helping us cut costs, and he's doing a great job. He's finding tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. But I certainly wouldn't want, Elon has businesses in China, and he would be susceptible perhaps to that. But it was such a fake story. The New York Times is just as fake as CNN and MSDNC. And anybody read that story, people laughed at that story. Who would do such a thing? And the first thing I did is I called Susie and I called Pete. I said, is there any truth to that? And they said, it's ridiculous. No, he's over there to talk about costs. You might want to address that, Pete. But Elon was over there today to address costs. Doge, thing called Doge, which you've heard about.
That's exactly right, Mr. President. You pointed out it was a fake story. We pointed out it was meant to sort of undermine whatever relationship the Pentagon has with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a patriot. Elon Musk is an innovator. Elon Musk provides a lot of capabilities our government and our military rely on, and I'm grateful for that. We welcomed him today to the Pentagon to talk about Doge, to talk about efficiencies, to talk about innovations. It was a great informal conversation. The rest of that reporting was fake. There was no war plans. There was no Chinese war plans. There was no secret plans. That's not what we were doing at the Pentagon.
I might add that I think Elon, if they ever wanted to do that, I think Elon wouldn't do it. I think he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't want to put himself in that position. But if you read what's out of the New York Times, it's such a dishonest newspaper. It's such garbage. It's, it used to be called all the news that's fit to print. Well, it's all the news that's not fit to print. They have fake sources, or they don't have sources. I think they make most of it up. But this was a made-up story by the New York Times. I call it the failing. It's a failing newspaper. It's failing. And they shouldn't do that. They really are the enemy of the people.
And
We do need honest journalism in this. You know, we've made such big strides over the last 2 months, but we just need honest journalism, and we don't have it. When you have a CNN, you have to watch these people every once in a while just to see where they're coming from.
Me too.
And it's so dishonest. MSNBC is, I think, probably worse. And they're both doing horribly in the ratings. I think they're going to be turned off. I don't think they're not doing any ratings. You're doing well on the ratings.
Is meeting their Chinese counterpart next week.
Yes.
Is there anything that they can do to stop April 2nd or to roll back the tariffs that you put on China already?
Well, we can talk, but basically, I call April 2nd. I would have made it April 1st, but I didn't want to be April Fool's Day because then nobody would believe what I said, and they do believe me. April 2nd is going to be Liberation Day for America. We've been ripped off by every country in the world, friend and foe. We've been ripped off on trade. We've been ripped off on military. We protect people and they don't do anything for us. It's just so unfair for years and years. And now some of that money is going to be coming back to us in the form of tariffs. I mean, tens of billions. It's going to be numbers like nobody's ever seen. So NVIDIA announced today, you saw that, hundreds of billions of dollars of investment. The biggest chip maker in the world announced hundreds of billions of dollars of investment, hundreds of billions, not millions, but billions. They're all coming here. Apple just announced $500 billion worth. They're going to build plants here. You know, they built their plants in China. They're going to build them here. And they're starting immediately. We have investment, the likes of which this country has never seen, already announced. And they all want to have news conferences. I don't have enough time to have that many news conferences, but I would say so far at least $4 trillion. $4 trillion is coming in. Car companies, very importantly, a lot of the car companies that we're going to build in Mexico or Canada.
Yes, that is awesome. Yeah, prayers for you, Legs. I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah, it will be. I think there's going to be, for sure there's going to be a lot of jobs. Right? It does. And yeah, I just love how they want to. Has anybody noticed that one from CNN? What is her name? She just has this scowl on her face. I'm like, so hateful. I don't know why she's there. I can't stand to look at her.
Canada and now building here, because I don't want cars from Canada. I don't want cars from Mexico. They want to do it, it's fine, but I want the car companies to build here, not, you know, they were building in Mexico 3 plants, big plants, really big plants, and they were going to sell the cars right across the border. We wouldn't have the jobs, we wouldn't have the profits, we wouldn't get the taxes, we get nothing. All we get is unemployment and empty factories. Those days are over. So now those 3 places are going to build here, but many more than that. We have a big one. Honda is building, just announced a really big plant in Indiana, great state, smart place to build. And we have many car companies coming here. The steel mills are going to be booming, And many other things come with that. But we need that for defense. You know, there are certain things you have to have. You have to have steel. We would have had, if I didn't do in my first term tariffs to stop the onslaught, because they were dumping steel in order to destroy our steel plants. If I didn't do 50% and even 100% in certain cases tariffs on steel, you wouldn't have a steel plant in the United States. And Biden was unable to get rid of those tariffs because they threw off so much money that his numbers, which didn't work anyway, because his numbers were terrible. What he did, the way he spent money was so horrible. What he allowed to happen to energy. That's the other thing. Energy is going to be like it's never. Vice President is here. If you have anything to say? Why? Good Vice President.
I'm just here to watch the show, sir. Okay. I think airplanes are pretty cool, so I wanted to check this out.
Airplanes cool.
To watch the show.
Anything that China can do to take off the trade war at this point, though?
Well, I'll be speaking to President Xi. I have a great relationship with him. We're going to have a very good relationship. But we have a $1 trillion deficit because of Biden with President Xi. More than that. I mean, I've heard $1.2 trillion. We have a deficit. And explain that to President Xi. We also have a problem where he's allowing fentanyl to be sent into Mexico and then cross the border and, killing. I think the number is much higher than the 125, 115 that I think it's closer to 300,000
Yeah, he's
people a
better
year.
than legs. He needs to.
And so that's a problem. But they have a tremendous surplus against the United States, and we don't want that.
Mr. President, why do you want to control Ukraine's power? A number of industries have come to asking for extension on tariffs. Is that something that is under consideration by you?
Well, people are coming to me and talking about tariffs, and a lot of people are asking me if they could have exceptions. And once you do that for one, you have to do that for all. So, I mean, generally, I did something interestingly during 2 weeks ago. I gave the American car companies a break because it would have been unfair if I didn't. And everybody said, oh, he changed his mind on tariffs. I didn't change my mind. I helped our, sort of big three, big four. I helped some of the American companies. And instead of taking it properly, they said, oh, he changed it. I don't change, but the word flexibility is an important word. So,
Yeah, Frazzled knows what she's talking about, legs. Seriously. For real. He wants to be very careful. It does. Make a very big difference.
sometimes there's flexibility, so there'll be flexibility, but basically it's reciprocal, so that if China's charging us 50% or 30% or 20%, and I don't mean China, I mean anybody, any country, Canada. Nobody knows that Canada's charging our dairy farmers. They have 270% tariffs. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. They have up to 400%. They have a couple of tariffs at 400%. Nobody knows that. Nobody talks about that. And remember, with Canada, we don't need their cars, we don't need their lumber, we don't need their energy, we don't need anything from Canada. And yet it costs us $200 billion a year in subsidy to keep Canada afloat. So when I say they should be a state, I mean that. I really mean that. Because we can't be expected to carry a country that is right next to us on our border. It would be a great state. It would be a cherished state. The taxes for Canadian citizens would go down in less than half. They don't spend money on military because they think we're going to protect them. There are many things that they do, like icebreakers. They want us to provide icebreakers for them. Oh, that's wonderful. So the Canada, they're very tough traders too. I want to just tell you, all the people, they're tough traders. They trade very tough. And, you know, the expression I use is some people don't have the cards. I used that expression about a week and a half ago. Right? Somebody was negotiating who didn't have the cards, who's now, I think, saying that he wants to do it. And I think we're going to have a big deal on that, very special something. We got to make a deal on that. But Canada has been a very nasty negotiator against the United States, took advantage of the United States for a long time. But nobody knows that they were getting 270% tariffs on dairy products.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think I've heard you say this in all of the talk about Canada becoming the 51st state. Are you concerned that if they became the 51st state, they would be a very, very blue state? Very, very big and very, very blue.
No, there might be, but it would, you know, you have that artificial line that goes, that straight artificial, that looked like it was drawn by a ruler. Somebody with I don't mean a ruler like a king, I mean like a ruler, this way. And it's just an artificial line that was drawn in the sand or in the ice. And you add that to this country, what a beautiful landmass, the most beautiful landmass anywhere in the world. And it was just cut off for whatever reason. It would be great. Now, is it liberal? Maybe, but you know, a conservative until I got involved, I don't care who wins up there. I, frankly, probably would do better with the liberal than the conservative, if you want to know the truth. But just a little while ago, before I got involved and totally changed the election, which I don't care about, Probably it's to our advantage, actually. But the conservative was leading against, I call him Governor Trudeau. The conservative was leading by 35 points. So, so I don't know about that. I think Canada is a place like a lot of other places. If you have a good candidate, the candidate's going to win.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but the two astronauts that you just helped save from space, they didn't get any overtime pay for all that extra time. They got $5 a day per diem for 286 days. That is $1,430 in extra pay. Is there anything the administration can do to get them, to make them whole?
Well, nobody's ever mentioned this to me. If I have to, I'll pay it out of my own pocket, okay? I'll get it for you.
Mr. President,
I'll pay it right out of my, is that all? That's not a lot. For what they had to go through. And I want to thank Elon Musk, by the way, because think if we don't have him. There's only so long, even though they're in the capsule up there, that the body starts to deteriorate after 9 or 10 months. And gets really bad after 14, 15 months with the bones and the blood and all the things that you've been reporting on very well. And if we don't have Elon, they could be up there a long time. Who else is going to get him? And I just want to thank him. He's going through a lot, what they're doing to him. And these people are going to be caught, and they're going to be caught, and they're going to be prosecuted. And from what they tell me, I see this just by watching your programs and reading the news, but from what they tell me, they could get 20 years in jail, and they'll get it. I'll tell you, there's going to be no leniency, and there'll be no pardons. I can tell you that right.
And you said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe you said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe they'll go to one of these prisons in El Salvador. Do you think with the way that the judges have been issuing injunctions, it would be easier or harder to send these Tesla domestic terrorists to a jail in El Salvador than these MS-13 or Tren de Aragua guys?
Well, I view these people as terrorists just like others. When I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place. These are terrorists. You didn't have that on January 6th, I can tell you. You didn't have anything like that on January 6th, which is sort of amazing because on January 6th, the very beautiful young woman, Ashley Babbitt, nobody was killed. And you look at what's going on now with these terrorists. These are terrorists, and that's an organized event. Take a look at their signs.
Good night, Kentucky woman. Thanks so much for joining us. And thank you for the prayers. Absolutely. Good night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And thanks for all your words of encouragement. I know it meant to Jerry, it meant a lot to me. Yeah. And yeah, people, this is something else we need to talk about as far as, what people are doing. I've heard people saying, well, doing shit to Tesla cars and stuff. It's freedom of speech. It's not called freedom of speech. It's called destruction of property. And that kind of behavior is so gross. That's what, what? Do these people not see what they look like? Chasing people with a MAGA hat, destroying property all over the place. I mean, how is it that people don't understand this behavior is unacceptable? All you hear about is January 6th, which was a big fat fucking lie, a big lie that I'm damn tired of hearing about. But how many arrests were made when people were burning down the entire fucking city, destroying shit? See, that's what the left does. How is that okay with anyone? You hear people defending this shit. It's unacceptable fucking behavior, period. You don't have to like anything. Destroying anything is so gross. I can't even stand it. Oh my God, were you really, Debbie? Wow. That's exactly right, Jerry. It didn't, you're right. That's just, they're not hurting Elon. They're really not hurting Elon. A dealership, he's already been paid. I mean, I know that he's taking a lot of it very personal. He's actually scared. He's already made that very clear that he is afraid for his life. But it's the people who own the vehicle. Who do you think you're? It's just so. I can't either. I'm sorry to hear that, Debbie. It's ridiculous. The shit that went on there, and it was, and still, you have politicians encouraging this behavior. It's fucking criminal. That Summer of Love where they destroyed all kinds of horse shit. I mean, that shit has to stop. Anybody who encourages that, anyone who thinks that shit's okay, don't even talk to me, because I don't want shit to do with anybody like that. That's never okay. Exactly. You destroyed people's businesses that they worked their whole lives for. They put everything they had in their business, and they just camped out, and they just ruined shit. And you had that stupid Tim Wall's wife say, while the city's burning down, she liked it. She kept the windows open because she could smell the fires and stuff. The fuck is wrong with people? When is any of that okay? Did you see? There's a video, you guys, of a guy. I mean, they so show their intelligence. They show what kind of idiots they are. This guy keeps putting his hands down his pants, rubbing through the crack of his ass, and wiping it all over a charging station. Really? Get some fucking help, people. Who thinks about doing that ever about anything? Right, Debbie? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that you have people. Well, you hear Tim Walz talking about how he's so excited about the Tesla stock going down when his own constituents have a ton of their own money, their retirement, put into that. Well, that's just fucking cute. Why is it okay because you don't like him? You're good with that. No politician should ever be good with anything like that. These people are encouraging this. So they sat during that oh my God, the speech at the joint Congress. Oh my God, I can't think now all of a sudden, for whatever reason. I'm crazy. But they sat down when they talked about a little boy with cancer. They don't care about that. The people killed. They sat down they didn't even stand for the woman whose husband was killed in the line of duty. The girl who had a ball spiked at her face so hard because she had to play with a man that she has paralysis the rest of her life. When is that shit okay? When do you celebrate that kind of shit? It's completely out of control. You are more angry at the people finding fraud and abuse than you are about the people doing it. And now we have judges that are going to come and say you can't do that. Well, no, it's so out of control. These people are lunatics. That's exactly right. Lunatics. You want to celebrate this shit? I'm pretty sure very few people are down with it. I don't know. But the politicians they're out there celebrating this shit. It's inexcusable. Destruction of property is never okay for any reason. It's just not. There's a lot of things I don't fucking like. We spent the last year with who even knows what kind of fucking shit really happened? A lot of shit. Never even occurred to me to destroy a single thing anywhere. I can't stand when anybody wants to break or destroy anything. It's just insane. Sorry. Oh my God. I get so irritated with this shit. Yeah. That is so crazy. I can't. Oh, it absolutely infuriates me. Exactly, Frazzle. How the hell is that how is that when you're upset about good things happening in your country and you are pissed off and you celebrate destruction of property and ruining people's retirement plan, all of it. It's out of control. They're not afraid of offending. No, they're not. No. Trying to keep illegal aliens that are criminals. I've been very clear how I feel. If you're not here, if you were here illegally, then you broke the law already. That's how I feel, because that's actually the fucking truth. It's a fact. It's an actual fact. And now you want to go and celebrate people destroying businesses and property. When you destroy somebody's car, that's that person. But see, this is a mentality you're dealing with. They don't care. They don't care how many people they put out of business. They don't care how much shit they fucking destroy. Yeah, me too. Well, we've always known that the law doesn't work for, it doesn't go for everybody, because everybody in DC would be fucking in prison if it did. Let's be honest. But I never knew that you could just really be a thug and people celebrate it. But no, these people, we need to be very clear about this. A lot of these protesters have no idea what they're protesting. We know they're paid to go out there. We know they don't even know really what they're doing. We know this. When you have a sign that says queers for Hamas, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Zero. That's not allowed, okay? Not allowed. 100% punishable by death. So that's not a thing. You don't even know what you're arguing about. They don't. They're paid. They go out there. So our politicians, and let's be very clear too, what we found out recently is all the shit that we thought George Soros was funding, we've been funding it. Not George Soros. We have been funding it. They've been funneling that shit through US aid. We have been paying for them to destroy our fucking cities. Bust them in, make up their signs. They don't have any idea what the hell they're protesting. They don't know shit. We have been paying for this. Make no fucking mistake. That has been happening. They don't even give a shit. They don't really care. They just don't have jobs and have time. Most people don't have time in their life to go fuck around like that. Just occupy a whole city block in Seattle for months. Yeah, they're thugs. They're not doing that shit for free. They don't even know what they're protesting. They truly don't. Like I said, we know for sure, because if you think that you are standing up for queers in Hamas, they're not allowed to do that. So just learn a little bit about what you're talking about. But it doesn't matter because they don't go to jail. They just are allowed to fucking destroy shit. They've been allowed to destroy shit for way too long. I can't take that shit. That's not freedom of speech. It's not. It's fucking a crime. It's destruction of property. That's what that is. And in many cases, it's assault. It really pisses me off bad. I can't. Whoever defends that, it really fucking, I don't know how to talk to somebody like that.
Take a look. They're all made by the same sign company. A nice, expensive job. Now, these are the people that finance it are, in my opinion, in just as big a trouble as the people that are setting the match and setting the fires.
Yep.
So we'll see. It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
Mr. President, you mentioned a deal with Ukraine.
What do you say to American military families who are seeing Elon Musk at the Pentagon today, are hearing about Defense Department cuts, and their thoughts are immediately going to the safety of their loved ones who are currently deployed?
Well, we're making our country strong. And when they see a thing like that and they hear that story about Elon and China, what they should do is realize that the New York Times is a corrupt institution, because I think they're the ones. They knew that story wasn't true. Nobody believed that story. People that, when I first called, they laughed when they heard this story. Nobody believed it, that the Pentagon was giving him a briefing on what war with China would look like, and he has business in. No, they made that up because it's a good story to make up. They're very dishonest people. I have it with the Times, and you'll see more and more of it. To me, it's a very dishonest organization. But a story like that is made up. It's total fiction. And I just wanted to make sure. I called up Chief of Staff and I called up Pete. And I said, is there any truth to that? Absolutely not. He's there for Doge, not there for China. And if you ever mention China, I think he'd walk out of the room. He wouldn't take it anymore. So it's just a made up story. Nobody's taking better care of the military. One of the things that I know that Pete's doing is he's talking about a lot of the civilian staff, and we're going to get them other jobs. You know, we're going to have a lot of jobs in this country but we don't want to have wasteful jobs. We want to have meaningful jobs.
This is so good.
And those were wasteful jobs. Those are jobs that not only military, but jobs where people don't show up. You take a look at Department of Education. I've never seen so many buildings with the names on it. You go past one after another Department of Education, and they're empty. The people don't show up. You know why? Because they have other jobs, because they're playing golf, or they're playing something, they're doing something. And we have a lot of great people, but we have to move that back to the States. We're going to make our country strong, and we're going to get people much better jobs, because we have companies moving into our country, the likes of which we've never seen before. Nothing like this has happened.
That was so funny to me when he said they're playing something. Oh, God. I thought that was funny. Oh, God. I cannot with that shit. I love the way he says stuff, man. Some of this shit, putting their hands in their ass and then wiping it on something. God. I know. I know, Jerry. He always says that. He says that about everything. Oh, my God. That's so funny. I know. Oh, my Lord. It is so funny. Yeah, me too. Me too. Oh, man. I remember I laughed so hard at that today. They're playing something. I don't know why that struck me so damn funny.
And it's automatic. They don't want to pay the tariffs. How do you avoid paying the tariffs? You build your plant in the United States, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I see it. So far, I would say $4 trillion. Nobody's ever heard of them. No country's ever heard of numbers like that. $4 trillion, and those are the best ones. The biggest, best chip maker in the world. I'm not a fan of the CHIP Act, where you give billions of dollars away to companies that don't need it, and it won't bring them here. I'm giving nothing away. All they're doing is coming here. They're building because they want to avoid. Remember this on the tariffs too, because that's going to be, Liberation Day, April 2nd. It's reciprocal. If they charge us, we charge them. So somebody said, well, how much are the tariffs? Very fair. If India, as an example, has been very bad to us on tariffs, they charge 100%, 200%, whatever they charge. Now, Europe just announced they're lowering the tariffs on cars. We charge like a joke, 2.5%. That's what this country charges. Europe just announced that they're reducing their tariffs on cars to 2.5%. It's nice. But they also have non-monetary tariffs where they make it impossible for the cars to get in even without the dollars on them, dollar signs.
Right.
It's called the non-monetary tariff, where they put on controls where no matter what happens, because they don't want cars, they don't want the American car in their market. And yet they send us millions of cars.
That's something that people don't think about either. If you go to another country, you will not see American cars there ever. No other, I've never seen it. And their shit's all running amok around here.
Cars, they send us big agriculture. They don't want our agriculture. They don't want anything from us. European Union's very tough. But now it's fair. So whatever they do to us, we do to them.
Mr. President, you mentioned
Russia continues to attack Ukraine. Are you planning to impose any sort of
Well,
sanctions?
they're fighting against each other. Yeah, I think we're going to have a ceasefire on a lot of areas, and so far that's all held very well. And getting that ceasefire, they had a lot of guns pointing at each other. We had some soldiers, unfortunately, surrounded by other soldiers. They are going to be, I believe, we're going to pretty soon have a full ceasefire, and then we're gonna have a contract. And the contract's being negotiated, the contract in terms of dividing up the lands, et cetera, et cetera. It's being negotiated as we speak.
What do you say to critics who say that your actions towards law firms amount to coercion?
Well, the law firms all want to make deals. You mean the law firms that we're going after, that went after me for 4 years, ruthlessly, violently, illegally? I mean, are those the law firms you're talking about? They're not babies, they're very sophisticated people. Those law firms did bad things. They went after me for years. Russia hoax, all a hoax. It was a hoax. It was Hunter Biden's laptop. It didn't come out of Russia, by the way. It was just like came out of his bedroom.
Oh my God, I love just smacking them with the truth, man. Freaking love it. By the way, I do have all of the Hunter Biden laptop shit. You guys, it's pretty fucking gross. I should go over that with you guys one day. I have the whole dossier. It's really gross. There's some really messed up stuff in there. And by the way, there's a whole lot of Ukrainian shit in there. This Ukraine shit is nothing like we have been told all this time. It's not anything like we've been told. Not at all. And again, we really need to start picking up on more on when you have everybody in Congress, everybody, just all over something. Can't get enough of it. Democrats, Republicans, everybody. There's something fucking fishy going on. And that Ukraine shit is a bunch of bullshit, is what it is. He doesn't want that war to end. He doesn't. He's having a fucking great old time. But because everybody's been playing the game with him, because it's working for them, nobody has cared about all these people dying. No one. So when Trump says, I want people to stop dying, that pisses everyone off. The fuck is wrong with people? Yeah, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. We should go over that. All that shit in his laptop. There's a lot. I've looked over it. It's a lot. It's pretty bad. He should absolutely be in prison. That guy's gross. I think we'll pretty much wrap this up.
It was all a hoax developed by Democrats. Hillary, I don't think Biden did, because I don't think Biden knows what the hell he's doing, frankly, based on everything I see. I've seen things since being here that are so sad. What he's done to this country, what he and they did to this country, those people that surrounded him, who, by the way, are radical left but smart. He's not smart. He was never smart. But these are radical left, smart people. They totally controlled him. He did whatever they told him to do. And it's a shame. It's so sad to see what happened, what they've done to this country, both not only the inflation you saw, but allowing millions of criminals, millions and millions of criminals into our country. That's an inexcusable act.
It is.
And many other things besides that. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
President, can we talk one more question on Ukraine?
I loved it. And look, he talks all the time. He answers their questions. He goes through all this stuff with them all the time. You guys know that they had a whole set in the White House. It's there now. They set up for Biden. I don't think he ever was even in the Oval Office. He was not doing anything. And a lot of people think it was Joe Biden was doing stuff and Hunter Biden. They weren't. No, it's somebody we don't even know who. They actually, there is a set at the White House that looks like the Oval Office. That is where he would be at. They've showed it now. I mean, it was the biggest fucking joke you've ever seen. I think a lot of presidents act like, at least kind of pretend, at least are cognitive enough to pretend. I mean, this was bad. But we knew it was, though. That's the whole thing. We knew it was, and we kept being told no. I mean, if we didn't see, it was embarrassing. It was totally embarrassing. I mean, oh my God. Like, the likes of something we've never seen before. Nobody's ever seen before. I think that's true. I mean, we looked so fucking stupid. You know, tripping and carrying on. I remember every time he would be walking up to the White House and he would be on a sidewalk and then just keep on going into the grass. Like, I mean, it was just so bad. I don't even know. Like what you'd ever seen. Yeah. That, I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, we do see some really wild ass, you know, dictators and prime ministers, whatever you call them. But what a fucking joke. Hey, Tony. I'm here now. Yeah, and we're getting ready to end. I'm going to start a new live. I want to talk about the JFK files. Oh, wow. Really? Frazzle. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Wow. Oh, yeah. I don't give anybody money. Right, right. Well, that's too bad. Yes. Rest in peace, George Foreman. Babe. George Foreman passed away.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, that's very sad. Very sad. It makes me very sad. He's quite an entrepreneur and a great father.
Yes. Yeah, that's too bad.
I don't know how old he was.
Yeah, let me look and see how old he was. That is sad. $76.
He's 76. I'm going to guess from 12 years. Very good vision. Probably had a lot of feelings.
I see it says George Foreman, ageless heavyweight. He did age very well, huh? Actually, when you think about it, he never really looked old at all. I'm not seeing what. Aren't all of his kids named George? Right? I know, he did. He looked super young. I mean, like, you knew he was older than he actually looked, right? You knew? I hadn't heard that. Yeah, I don't see what. He named his daughter Kira. Oh, right. Oh, his daughter. I didn't mean his daughter. Yeah. Were all of his sons named George? I could be wrong about that. Obviously. Have you? I've never had one of those. Oh, wait, what? He explained on his website that he named them after him so they would always have. Oh my God. I've never had a George Foreman grill. Now I feel like I want one. '76. That's pretty young.
Right, I'm thinking I only got 12 years left to impregnate a bunch of females. I need to get busy. He was 76. He was 64.
What does that have to do with impregnating females? What are you talking about?
Well, I don't have a lot of time left.
Okay. Mr. Snotty's going off in the weeds over here.
I gotta get busy.
All right, I'm going to end this and I'm going to come right back. And we're going to talk about the JFK files. I have them. It's a lot. It's a lot there. Lean, mean grilling machine. I love that. Oh my God. Very fertile. That's funny. All right, I'm going to end this and I'm going to go use the restroom and come right back. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute. Thanks.
Good night, Aaron McGinnis. Wherever
Yes.
you are.
Good night, Ira McGinnis. Yeah, I'll be right back, Debbie. Okay. Bye.